Hello everybody, my name is Nixxiom, and as you probably know, Legion is out. How cool is that? And as the title of the video suggests, I'm going to talk about Legion so far. Kind of the first impressions. Now, if you guys have been following this channel for a while, and you watched my original first impressions of Legion video, you're probably aware that I was pretty skeptical about this expansion, to say the least. I mean, Warlords of Draenor was not that good, and so Legion, it's kind of like, you know, you don't really know, like, how it's going to end up being, and so I was very skeptical. Maybe I was a little salty, I can admit that. Maybe I was a little too salty, too harsh, but holy shit, man, let's talk about Legion. So, we're going to talk about pros first, and then we're going to talk about the cons, right? Alright, so let's start with the pros. So, number one, well actually, before I even go into it, there's a lot to say, but I'm going to try to keep things kind of simple because we don't want this to be a 45-minute video. But, the first pro, let's start right at the beginning, the artifact weapon system. I cannot put into words how much I love the artifact weapon system. I love the fact that it has such a strong feeling of progression to it. I love the fact that Blizzard has pretty much brought back Vanilla WoW talent trees, kind of, by putting them in the, you know, the artifact weapons. That's awesome. Because the Vanilla WoW talent trees were just fucking awesome. I mean, come on, man. It's great, man. I was extremely skeptical about this system. I admit it, I was. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be any good. This is probably going to be kind of stupid. It's probably not going to work out very well. But oh my gosh, did it work out very well. I love the artifacts. They're great. And I really would love to see Blizzard, like, expand on the system in the next expansion or whatever. I think it's great. Anyway, number two, the world. The world itself. The quests. The voice acting. Like, the treasures you can find. The everything. I mean, it's great. Like, you talk about, like, immersive. You talk about immersive. I was doing a dungeon once, for example. I know, like, the dungeon isn't really in the world, but I was doing a dungeon, for example, Darkheart Thicket. And it was the first time I did Darkheart Thicket, and we had a druid tank, and the boss, the first boss, Archdruid Who Gives a Shit, he was like, he was addressing the druid player. He was like, "Oh, druid, I see that you have a powerful weapon, but you shall not stop me." And then he was like talking smack to like the druid tank in our group like the entire time. Like, how cool is that? Like, that's so cool. You know? I hope there's a boss that yells at me, because I haven't done every single instance just yet. I've done most of them. There's like one or two I haven't done yet. So I hope there's a boss that'll talk some smack to me. I'm playing a mage, man. But anyway, the world, man. The quests are great. I think some zones are a little bit more interesting than others. My least favorite zone is Azuna. I know some people are gonna crucify me for that, but I don't really like Azuna that much. But Val'sharah is awesome, High Mountain's awesome, Stormheim is awesome, and Suramar is great. Suramar is great once you get there. So the world itself, all the stuff in it, it just feels so full. It feels so full. That's the best way to describe it. Number three, the PvP system. I'll keep this short. I like the new PvP system. I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I know some people don't like it. Some people. But I like it. I love it. Honestly, I'm so divided right now in this expansion. It's like, I love the PvP system so much that I just want to focus on PvP. But at the same time, like, I love the dungeons and everything so much that I just want to focus on dungeons and gearing up for raiding. So it's kind of like, my mind is getting blown, man. The mind is getting blown. Like, wow, like, so cool. There's so much to do. Anyway, so, on that note, dungeons. Dungeons are great. Love the dungeons. Demon Hunters. Demon Hunters, I'm particularly not leveling up a Demon Hunter because, you know, Death Knights are obviously the better class, but Demon Hunters are a lot of fun. I am still going to stand by my point, though. I'm still going to stand by my point in my first impressions video, the original one, where I said that I would prefer it if Demon Hunters had 3 specs rather than just 2. Now, there's nothing wrong with the 2 specs that we have now, Both of them, a lot of fun. I love it. I enjoy it. But because I am a greedy bastard, I want that traditional third spec. A second DPS spec, whatever. Someone even proposed in the comments of that video, my original first impression, saying, you know, why can't the Demon Hunters have like a, maybe like a range spec, but where they use bows, so we have another bow class. Like, that'd be kind of cool. And they use like, you know, fell-infused arrows, and it's kind of like a magical hunter in a way. So, but whatever. Very minor complaint. Demon Hunters are a lot of fun in the time that I've played them. Not really my particular class that I enjoy, but I have enjoyed them. So, but I don't know if I'll ever, like, I'm probably not going to level one up to 110 anytime soon. Let's just put it that way, but they are fun. Next, Order Halls. Order Halls are interesting. I'm very genuinely surprised at how much I'm enjoying the Order Halls, because number one, the follower system doesn't feel like it's in the way. If you know what I mean? Like, it's not, like, in the way. It doesn't feel like it's really... It feels like, you know, the biggest complaint with garrisons was the fact that you weren't out in the world. You were mostly in your garrison, and your followers were doing, like, all the interesting stuff, right? But in this case, it's reversed. It's like your followers are doing just boring whatever quests, and then you are out doing interesting stuff, like, out in the world, and I really like that. So, the follower thing does not seem so... It doesn't seem so... What's the word I'm looking for? Intrusive into the gameplay, and it doesn't feel so... I'm trying to find another word to describe it. What's the word, guys? What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't feel so mandatory, I guess, but we are going to talk a little bit about that later, because there is something to say about it. But the point is, the new follower system, it's great, it's simple, it's straightforward, I like it. The class order halls, really cool. I love seeing all the other mages. I'm leveling up a mage again, like I said. Really awesome. I love the fact that every single class has their own class campaign, like, that you're going through, and I think that's really cool, and it's something that can't be finished in, like, one day. I honestly think that these class order halls are kind of like what the garrison should have been. Sort of. Okay, whatever. And the last thing I want to talk about in the pros, but there's really a lot to say, is just the fact that Blizzard has already announced the next patch to this damn expansion. Or, well, technically the first. Like, they've already announced patch 7.1, and this expansion, they announced patch 7.1 before the frickin' expansion was even out. It's like, Blizzard, please, like... calm down. You're supposed to be the lazy company. Like, come on, Blizzard. You're supposed to be the non-content, disappointing game company. Stop doing such a good job. So, I'm pretty happy with that, as you can tell. I know some people are going to leave comments, and they're going to say shit like, yeah, if you want to listen to, like, 10 minutes of some fanboying, then watch this video or something. But you know what? Legion's great, man. Legion is great. But there are some cons. We're going to talk about the cons, and this is everybody's favorite part. Everybody loves the cons section, and I don't have that many, but I have some. So the first con that I have is about the artifact system. The artifact system, some of the artifacts are a lot more interesting than the others. So, for example, I am leveling a Frost Mage, you know, that's right, leveling a Frost Mage, and... Frost Mages have an ability called Ebon Bolt, and Ebon Bolt is fantastic. You know, you shoot your Frost, or your Ebon Bolt, and you get 2 stacks of Fingers of Frost. The only problem is, it's just kind of like a glorified Frost Bolt. Like, it's not... You don't feel like a badass when you use it, I guess. And to you know, kind of elaborate on what I mean, compare that with, like, Unholy Death Knight, with their artifact weapon, Apocalypse. Freaking Apocalypse, man. Apocalypse summons an undead for every stack of festering wounds on the target, with, like, a cap of 8. So you can, like, pop Army of the Dead and have, like, you know, 12 little guys running around, and then you can have your little dead guy right there Then he can summon your gargoyle, or whatever, and then he can pop your artifact ability, and you've got like 20 undead running around, or 20 plus, like running around killing the guy that you're fighting. I mean, you feel like a fucking badass. So, some of the artifacts are really, really, really cool with the abilities they get, and some of them are kind of like, you know, whatever. I guess it's okay. Like, that line defines it really well. I guess it's okay. So that's a very minor con. But, dude, Frost Mages, man. Fuck you, Fire Mages. Frost Mages might not be doing the most DPS right now, but you know what? We shall rise again. We shall rise again. Okay. Next con, very minor. I hate Eye of Azshara. I hate the Eye of Azshara. I hate the Eye of... damn it. I hate the Eye of Azshara dungeon. Why is that so hard to say? Eye of Azshara. I don't like the Eye of Azshara dungeon. Personal preference. I know some people really love it. I just think it takes too long. There's too much running around. So it's a personal con. It's a personal con. But every time I get that damn Eye of Azshara dungeon, I'm like, man, hate that dungeon. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Alright. And the third con that I have, which is the last one, and maybe I'll have some more as the expansion goes on. I'll talk more about the expansion and my thoughts on it as we go. But the third thing is that I do not really like the fact that the third artifact slot is tied to the class order hall stuff. Now, it's not really a big deal, but and like I said, I really do enjoy the class order hall like campaign and everything, and like all the followers and everything. I think it's really cool. It's really interesting, but I don't feel like it should be tied to that. Maybe. I don't know. It's just because I guess my philosophy is that it's not really me speaking. It's just that I know a lot of people are going to comment and say they don't like the class order hall because garrisons. You know, they don't like the followers. They don't want anything to do with that. Blah blah blah. And for that third artifact slot, you're kind of like forced into it. I guess. You know, you're forced to play that whole like system with the followers and stuff. So I personally don't mind. That was my phone. I personally don't mind, but I know some people might. So I guess that's kind of a con, kind of. But overall, guys, I mean, there's really little I can complain about right now when it comes to Legion. I'm having so much fun playing this expansion. So much fun. I love the dungeons. I love it all. Like, the leveling was great. Getting to 110 felt incredibly rewarding. The scaling technology is awesome. I don't know how they did it, but the scaling tech is so cool. I wanted to talk about that in the world bullet. But the fact that, like, all the zones stay relevant, even at max level, it's so cool. There's just so much cool stuff in this expansion, and I love it. And this is just kind of just a random little vlog, not really blog video. So I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time, but the point is, I think Legion is great. I'm loving it, and I really hope that you guys are having an awesome time playing Legion 2. And, gee, I cannot wait, because it could happen. You know it could happen, where like 3 months from now, or like 5 months from now, or longer, I'm going to be making a video saying, man, Legion was so good in the beginning, and I hate it now. Like, oh, Blizzard, like, the patch 7.2 is so bad. Like, Blizzard, what were you doing? You know, it's going to be like that. It's going to be so great. But no, Blizzard seems to really have learned their lessons from Warlords of Draenor, and I think they're doing a pretty good job. So, yes. So those are my thoughts on Legion so far. What do you guys think? Do you guys like Legion so far? What are your cons with Legion, and what are your biggest pros? Like, what do you really love about it? Feel free to share in the comments below. I'm gonna go take a nap because I actually just got back from mountain biking. Like, literally just got back like half an hour ago. I just ate something. So I'm gonna go take a nap, and then I'm gonna go work on a new Machinima video. So until next time. I messed up my outro. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you soon.